Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we are going to be discussing some details that came out of the Ultimania book that is released for Final Fantasy XV. Now for those of you who are unfamiliar, Ultimania releases guidebooks for Final Fantasy games, and they usually contain additional information and details regarding the lore and background of the world itself, including comments from producers, directors, and developers who worked on the game. They're very insightful, but I don't believe they release outside of Japan. Because of story elements that are going to be discussed in this video, I of course need to put a spoiler warning right now. If you do not want spoilers, you stop right now. I don't want to hear it. No complaining. Got it? You gone? Good. Okay. Now, what's it called? Spoiler area now. Now we're moving into spoilers. Anyway, scrolling down into the article, it starts talking about the story and how it evolved from Versus 13 to 15. Now, this is the most controversial part of all Final Fantasy 15. Some people love it, some people like it, but they wish they didn't need the outside information. Some people are okay with it, but they really wish it was more fleshed out and they feel like the second half was rushed. They have people who just think the whole thing is just complete trash. Regardless of what you think, some of the initial ideas from Versus 13 carried over to 15, and you can kind of see that. While Versus 13 was based on the Fabula Nova Chrysalis mythos, with Etro being the main goddess with which all of the lore was created around, that didn't stay, but you can still see the whole god type thing, the whole god complex thing going on with Noctis's fate. Also, the whole idea of chosen ones by the crystal putting their lives at stake. You know, even the Lassie and the Fal'Cie were very similar when it came to that. But they obviously had to rewrite certain things. Nomura didn't really have something nailed all the way down, just had a lot of concepts. So they had to mix and match concepts, they had to write new things, and eventually we had the most major change. Stella was changed to Luna, and her role in the story was changed entirely. So they do some comments on that before going into some more details about the other characters in Final Fantasy XV. For example, we learned that Iris is only 15 years old. I guess that doesn't really surprise me, but that would mean, yeah, that based on Brotherhood, that doesn't really surprise me. Iris is 15, Aranea is 30, Cindy, or Sydney, as she's called in the Japanese version, is 26, and Cor Leonis is 45. He is younger than I thought he was. I thought he was like 50-something, but he doesn't really look like he's 50-something, so I guess I understand that he's 45. Also, it has now been confirmed, although we had kind of already speculated this based on the information that came from the free update, when Tabata was detailing the free updates. But we have learned that Iris, Aranea, and Cor will become playable via the final multiplayer DLC, Comrades, Companions, whatever they end up calling it. So if you have the Season Pass, you will get to play as these characters. They are even in the process of determining whether or not Luna Freya will actually be playable. They said it's not confirmed, but it could be done. It'll be done if it's possible to get her developed in time. They also now start talking about the different generals of the Niflheim army. They talk about how Loki Tumelt actually has past run-ins with Cor Leonis, and they actually have a bit of a rivalry. Another thing that's not really explored. We also learned that Verstale, I can't say his last name, Verstale Besithia, which by the way is Prompto's biological father, if you didn't know that. It's in the official guidebook that we actually get. We kind of already know this. He's a mad scientist type who basically succeeded in creating all the Magic soldiers with Arden's help. And for him, the entire world, it's all research material. The gods are research material, and he's just dedicated towards being this massive superpower like the Niflheim army is trying to be. As they say here, he is Prompto's real father. The Argentum name comes from the fact that Prompto was adopted when he was only 1 year old by the Argentum family in Lucis. That's why they do not share the same last name. An Imperial general named Safei Roth was initially supposed to be in the game, but he was cut during development, which is fine because they barely did anything with all the other Niflheim generals. I guess they didn't need one more that was crowded, that had no backstory in the game itself. But there are still homages to him. If you ever see SAF on the Imperial Army's landing boats, those are actually in reference to Safei Roth, the Lost General. Maybe we'll get him as DLC at some point, who the heck knows. On top of that, they also shared that apparently, depending on how you answer in Luna's notebook throughout the game, you'll actually see it sort of change. When you get to the end of the game, if you answer badly the entire game, the description of the notebook will say there's a trace of dust on it. But if you answer nicely, the book will state that it's well worn. If your responses are favorable, then it says there are tears on the page. I don't know if that's tears or I'm dead serious. I'm going to say there are tears on the pages as if she read it and she started crying. So it's supposed to add some emotion between Noctis and Luna, but I don't know how successful it really is at doing that. I think we all kind of agree on that. And then finally, we learned that the game's ending was left purposely vague so that the player could decide on his own what really happened. So that's just a few of the details, but the Ultimania books are being translated and the information is being posted on the internet. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more details popping up from the Ultimania books, especially considering there are 2, and it says in this thing, it says thick. Those are starting, as it says, to filter online, so we can expect at least a few more reports, hopefully, on them, especially while we're waiting till the holiday season is over. Hopefully, first week of January, we'll get some more information about the Moogle Chocobo Carnival and episode Gladio. Fingers crossed, really looking forward to it. But anyway, are you excited to have confirmed the ability to play, and I'll re-quote it again so there's no confusion, Iris, Aranea, and Cor to become available to play via the final multiplayer DLC? That's got to tell us it's World of Ruin, right? That has to mean it's the World of Ruin. Like, you guys gotta admit, it can't be any other way. Let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comment section of the video below. Be sure to, again, go over to DualShockers, give them the hits, give them the likes, give them the attention they deserve. And ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.